Hello everyone, welcome to this session. My name is Wycliffe, and in this video I want to share with you how you can obtain rows with the minimum values based on specific column in your data frame. Now, what is the problem here? For example, you have a big data frame and there is a column called T yield, and you want to know the minimum, the rows which had that minimum yield. You want some information about just that row. Or you group by some counties and then you want the minimum yield from each county in your data frame, right? Or you want the maximum yield from each county. So we can get simply in R using slice minimum and slice maximum functions from dplyr. All right, so if you don't have the dplyr package installed, then you should install it using install.packages dplyr. I will not do that because I already have the package installed. So the next thing I will do is to load the library dplyr using library function. Okay, with that, I now have the functionalities of dplyr availed to me, and I can now use even, for example, the table function to create my data frame. And in my data frame, I will have values like farm, which will just be paste 0. I will just paste f1 or f underscore to numbers 1 to say 8. So that will give me a vector of f1, f2, f3, f4, f5, f6, f7 up to f8. But for the counties, I will provide their names directly. Like the first one will be Kericho, Kericho, Bomet, Bomet, like that, like we did in the previous video, where we used slice sample. So Kericho, Kericho, Bomet, Bomet, and then Nandi, Nandi. These are places where you can obtain tea in Kenya, and people here know really how to run for the Olympics. Maybe tea is helping somehow. And lastly, we have Kericho and then Bomet. Okay. After that, we may have tea yield in kilograms. And for this, we will provide values like 400. This can be any other variable of interest for you. It doesn't have to be yield. It can be something else. Okay, it can be soil pH. It can be any other quantitative variable you are handling. Okay, then we have 350. We have 420 and another 300. All right, so if we check our data frame, we have a good data frame to work with 8 rows and 3 columns and all the data sets well entered. All right, so let's say you want to see the least yield. If we look here, the smallest value could be 300. I think so. But you can imagine also 300 here. You can imagine if you have a lot of data, looking for that minimum value can be daunting to your eyes. So you just take your data frame and then you just say slice minimum. Okay. If you slice minimum, and then it will ask you order by what. So like which column are you looking for the minimum? So we are looking for the minimum in T in kilograms, and then just one value or one record with the minimum. So slice minimum function help us to do that. And if we want more than one record, then we can do the same, slice minimum with T, but then we specify the number of N to maybe 2. So we notice that the least yield were recorded in Bomet. So this one was 300 Bomet, and this is 300 Bomet. Yeah. Okay, so if you wish, you can also use proportion. So we can have df slice minimum and then order by that. But instead of n, we use proportion, and we are looking for 50%. So that will give us the least yield, 50% yields throughout the data frame. Okay. In the same way, we can use our data frame and slice maximum. we can slice maximum. And then, for example, we order by T in kilograms, and then N maybe 1. So the highest yield was from Kericho, and it was 550 kilograms. Again, we can get more than one record by specifying this, increasing the number. The top two yields came from Kericho and Nandi, 500 and 550 accordingly. Okay. If you wish, you can also group by so that because we have several counties we can group by. So we use group by function, and then we say group by county. And after grouping by county, then slice maximum. We want to see the maximum per county. And then maximum what? Maximum T in kilograms, and just one record. So this one should be provided with the argument. So we see Bomet, the highest was 450. Kericho, the highest was 550. Nandi, the highest was 500. Very, very easy. You group by, and then you slice the maximum from each group. And of course, as you could guess, it is right that for us to get the minimum, we just say the max we change to mean, and now we have the least yield per county. So Bomet, we had the 300s, and for Kericho, we had 400 is the lowest, and Nandi had the lowest being 350. Okay, but we see that Bomet is repeated. So how can we avoid that repetition in Bomet? So to avoid that, we just say with ties equals false. So with ties, we set to false, so that it will just return one value for each record. If we try this with the minimum, where we had the 300 in Bomet, we will see that now we only return one record of Bomet randomly among the minimums. Okay, that's what I wanted to share with you today. If you find this useful, grouping by and finding the minimum per county, the maximum per county, or just overall minimum, overall maximum with the ties, without ties, and changing proportion to just a number, you can enjoy that. Feel free to grab the script to this code in the description section of this video. It will take you to my GitHub repository from where I document this code, and you can use it freely with your friends. Remember to like and share with friends. You can subscribe if you want to get similar videos throughout the month of December and even beyond. Thank you and happy coding. Bye-bye.